I'm going to tell you how I became Dan Martell's head of sales and eventually did, it's like $11 million, over $11 million in sales in 3.5, 4 year period, something like that. Anyway, I was developing a software platform called CarePro. It was for the home care industry. Had no business trying to build software. I knew nothing about it. I was doing a little consulting in the home care world and saw that there was like this big need. Everybody was operating with paperwork. I had used like electronic medical record systems in the healthcare field. And I just thought, damn, like they need a solution like this. Started looking around on the internet. I wasn't finding a whole lot. And I said, I'm going to build this. I think I'm the one. So I had this massive belief that I could do it, okay? Lo and behold, like I didn't do it, but that's okay. It still led me down the right path. So I ended up starting to build this software. I found developers. I told them exactly what I wanted to build, went down this road, started spending a lot of my own money on trying to build this thing slowly, week by week, handing over some paychecks. Luckily I had a pretty decent job at the time, but started handing over paychecks with this belief that I'm going to change the home care industry. Well, a few months passed. I started to get a little discouraged. Like anybody, I started to look for answers. So I go to YouTube and I start Googling my problems. What's wrong? What's wrong? And that's how I met Dan. That's how I first got introduced to him. On YouTube, he maybe had 10,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers. It was pretty early on. This was 2018, 2019. So I was consuming a lot of his content, realizing like, this guy knows his shit. He knows about software. He can help me. I bet he can. And he was from Moncton, New Brunswick at the time. Now he lives in Kelowna, British Columbia. But he was from Moncton. So I was like, okay, this is cool. He's a few hours away from me. Like, I'll hop in a car and drive to him if the guy's willing to meet up with me. So I reached out to him, found his contact info, got onto a quick call. One of the guys on his team, Michael, was there at the time and had a good conversation with Michael. Ended up enrolling in Dan's early stage coaching program. I was maybe one of the first 2 people that joined this program. And at the time, I was like riddled with credit card debt. But I don't know, I just said, I need answers. I've already gone this far down the journey, so I had to do something. So I ended up putting it on a credit card. $2,000, which to me at the time was like, holy shit, I'm already in debt. So I was like, you're either screwed or you're gonna make this thing happen. And I wasn't ready to just give up just yet. So I end up reaching out, going to every one of the coaching calls, learning so much about software development, and also realizing all the mistakes I made. And then that was like kind of scary to me, like, well, what do I do now? I've already developed all these things. I don't have early adopters. I don't have people paying me money for version 1 of the software. I've already tried to build version 5 without even validating version 1 yet. Fast forward a little bit more, and I realized, and actually he had a job posting for a sales rep. And I said, oh, this is cool. I want to be even closer to this guy. I want to get in his world. I'm going to weasel my way in there. Dan's going to be friends with me someday. Lo and behold, we are friends now, which is pretty cool. But I ended up applying. They knew who I was. Dan knew who I was because I was on coaching calls. I asked a lot of questions. And I ended up getting the job. So I went through a few interviews, got the job, and Dan made me read a bunch of sales books, take a bunch of sales courses, like while I was selling. Luckily, I had a knack for selling, talking to people about software, their issues. I already had a lot of foundational knowledge from Dan that helped me do well in sales. And I describe it as like hopping on the rocket ship as it was taking off, because Dan had just built this beautiful community, and we did really awesome things. We were helping software founders left and right. Those were some of the best times in my life. It's built the foundation of the guy I am today, who owns a lot of real estate, and it all started with, taking myself out of my comfort zone, finding a mentor, putting myself in their path. You can do that too. Anybody can do that.